People who know me, they know that Soma would be silent in cases like this.
Don't get me wrong, I'm no fan of Regina Daniels. I saw her as a little child who was offered, whose youth and future was altered at the altar.
A lot of sad incidents are still coming out about Regina Daniels being a drug addict tagged by her husband. Somadina also came out to pour his heart out about the whole situation. Regina Daniels' mom's best friend came out to expose the whole truth behind the whole saga. Guys, enjoy this amazing video.
Hi everyone, I've been seeing the online trending video regarding Regina Daniels and her estranged husband, Senator Ned Nwoko. I want to believe that Nigerians, we have amnesia and something isn't really right with us. The fact that this grown man at almost 70 put out a press release that his 25-year-old wife, whom he started courting when she was 16 and married when she was 18 and fathered a child right away with her, is a drug abuser, and we all are all shouting and claiming that he's right. So does it mean that in our book might is right? Don't get me wrong, I'm no fan of Regina Daniels. I saw her as a little child who was offered, whose youth and future was altered at the altar of an ancient and modern old man because of money by her irresponsible and greedy mother. She is a victim of her society. But that being said, she's smoking shisha and doing all of that. She was acting her age under the nose and umbrella of a man who married this little girl to protect and to provide for her. So Senator Ned Nwoko, let me ask you, at what point did a girl who was given to you at 16 or whom you started courting at 16 and married at 18 become a drug dealer? When she married you, she was whole, she was young, she was naive. You claim she was a virgin. At what point did that virgin become a drug dealer? A child you were supposed to nurture, protect, and provide for. At what point did you just write this to discredit her and to look for a way to deny her access to her kids, just like men like you do? Because you're wealthy, influential, and have access, then you think might is right. I do not care about that girl, but I cared about the injustice you're about to mean to her. And I know as I'm doing this, she might decide to go back with you, which is what they know how to do best. It's what we call the Stockholm Syndrome. You marry these little girls at 16, 17, 18. You put them in a pedestal, lure them in with your money, make children with them, and when they start growing up and start acting their age, or if at any point they register displeasure with you, you will begin to tag them name. I do not see a responsible man, husband, who comes out in less than 24 hours that the wife or video of the wife having an altercation with him or whatever comes out is putting out a press release that the so-called wife is a drug addict. Are you serious, Senator Ned Nwoko? So let me ask them, if I recall in 2021, you did the same shit with Laila Charani, your Moroccan wife. The point she said she was done, she moved her things and went to Morocco. You took 2 of her kids, leaving the little one at hand, and she went back to Morocco. She struggled, attempted modeling and everything, then came back. I'm sure they cajoled her into apologizing. I don't blame them. You married these young, impressionable, vulnerable children whose parents decide to sell them at the altar of an old man like you because of money, because there is really nothing fanciable about you outside of your money. You take these little girls, you marry them. All of a sudden, when they turn 20 something, they start acting their age, or they begin to register displeasure with how you're treating them, allegedly in your home. You come out, you call them drug addicts, you call them prostitutes, you say they're sleeping with other men. Whereas you do the same thing with a whole lot of shenanigans going on. I'm no fan of Regina Daniels. In short, I don't blame that little girl. I blame her stupid mother. who sold her innocent child at the altar of an old ancient of days because of money. This is the kind of society we live. So I will ask the Nigerian government, if this little girl is accusing a lawmaker of domestic violence, I think it's time the federal government looks into it. If it means Senator Ned stepping aside until a proper investigation is done into this domestic violence, because it's not just because it's a marital issue. He's a state senator. The brother just alleged him hitting the girl with a gun. Those are huge. And him coming out to claim that the girl is a drug addict and he knows her dealer, I think is another crime. That under your roof as a senator, your wife and her siblings are peddling drug and you did not report them to the authority. You are an irresponsible man to even put out search about your wife. That's what you do to little girls you marry. When you give them money, you lure them in, you put a chokehold on them, so that by the time they decide to leave you, they have nothing to fall back other than to come back to you because of Stockholm Syndrome. And let me say this to every Nigerian man. Don't go and marry a child and expect her to not act like a child. Where I live, when a 60-something-year-old man begins to court a 16-year-old girl, it is termed pedophilia. These men are good at preying and grooming these young girls. In Regina's own case, her mother sold her to you for money. A young, beautiful, brilliant girl. So she was given to you whole, but you're sending her back to the society, tagging her a drug addict. How convenient of you to tag her a drug addict. In your statement, you said you were not around, the nurse said this, the nurse, under your roof. At what point did she become a drug dealer? Under your roof, Senator Ned. I will call on the Nigerian government, not because these are marital issues between spouse, but the fact that domestic violence is involved and you are a state senator or a sitting senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a lawmaker at that. The issue of domestic violence needs to be investigated. The brother alleging that you hit this girl with a gun when you are the same person anchoring for passing bills for Nigerians to own guns, that should be questioned. For you to also allege that she's a drug dealer and her brother is a supplier under your roof without you stating this prior to yesterday, her alleging domestic violence, that needs to be looked into. If you're an honorable man, as you want the world to think, I think it's time you step aside and let proper investigation be done to this. Nigerians, you all have amnesia. Might isn't always right. This young girl might be young from a poor home. Let me tell you, when these men marry these girls, they leave them with nothing so that those girls will come back begging and crawling at their altar. Society needs to wake up for men like this who groom and prey on young, impressionable, vulnerable young girls. Dearest Regina, pick up the pieces of your life and go. I know you might run back to him because of the kind of life he has exposed you to. God help you. I think there should be a wake-up call for you to want to go back to school, do something with your life. You're young, you're beautiful. Fortune might smile on you again. But women, mothers, stop selling your kids at the altar of old, wretched, ugly-looking men because of money. This should be a cautionary tale. It doesn't always end well. Suffice to say, they will always have their way with your child. Shame on you, Regina's mother, and shame on a society like us that enables such men using Islam and religion to groom, to prey on young, impressionable young girls. Knowing the socioeconomic status of Nigeria, they prey on these young women, and her stupid mother fell for it because of money. May God save you all. Like I said, 2021, Senator Ned accused Chiara, his ex-wife, his former wife or Moroccan wife, of doing all sorts when that little girl wanted to leave, and alleged all sorts. So God help you all. But for me, I don't care about you all. But don't use drugs as a means of silencing this young girl, because you have the wherewithal, and she doesn't have nobody to speak up for her.
See how easy it was for a husband to throw his wife under the bus. Did you see how effortlessly? Can you see it? knowing that this publication is likely going to ruin her reputation mentally, emotionally, and otherwise. But yet, he threw her under the bus. This is a mother. She bore two wonderful boys for you. You threw her under the bus. What if it's a woman? Make sure you protect your home. Be a virtuous woman. Is a woman that is holding a marriage. Pray for him. Do not wash your dirty linen outside. Protect your husband. Even a lot of men that have low sperm counts, women have been covering them up. But look at this. Bah! You wrote a press. Full note. Now let's dive right into it. Was your wife doing drugs before? Before you married her, was she doing drugs? Nope. How did she start doing drugs? In your house, under your roof. And how come you have not come out before to tell us that this young girl is abusing substance? But as soon as she came out and spoke about violence, this long note was written. Ladies, I hope you're learning. I hope you're not just sitting in the comment section and laughing. I hope you're putting your ears to the ground to understand that money cannot buy happiness.